Episode 1 of Flex and Finesse. I would be calling it Fitness and Finesse, but that sounds kind of a bit shit. Flex and Finesse is nice, I think.
Flex and Finesse, yeah.
It's good. Thanks to ChatGPT.
Thank you.
How you been? I ain't seen you in over a year.
Yes, mate. Really good. I'm a dad now. You know, living that dad life. I will be the biggest dad on the playground. 100%. That's my goal now. That I'm not competitive. It's like just remain the most jacked dad on the playground.
Well, that's the thing, Andy. When you're a competitor, you compare yourself to the competitors, which is the best way to make yourself shit. But you compare yourself to other dads. It's easy.
Yeah. It's easy to think good of yourself. Yeah, mate.
I'm happy for you.
Cheers, brother. What about yourself? You're a doggy dad now? Yeah.
Yeah. I've got two
now, yeah.
Two furry daughters, yeah. I've always wanted a dog, but like it's always been one of those things where it's like I feel like you're a lot more impulsive than I am. Well, in certain ways. But like it took a bit. Like I wanted a dog, and there's a difference between wanting something,
yeah,
and then getting it. Like crossing that line is like, I think mainly for me it's money. Like I don't like buying things. Yeah, I don't like spending money, so that was like probably the biggest thing. But Jess kind of taught me into it a little bit.
Yeah,
and she didn't talk me into it, but it was a good idea for her, and it's a good idea for me. So she's more of a buyer. She's more of a buyer.
Yeah.
So if she wants something, she goes and buys it. And yeah, got a dog, little Frankie, little Alsatian.
You got the money to do that, isn't
it? It's great. It's great. I swear she's a millionaire. Like she keeps that. She orders things, and something comes through every other day. Yeah. And like, I'm trying to figure out in my head. That's 20 quid. That's another. How much are you making? Do you know what I mean?
Mate, my partner does make more than me. Like, and I'm proud of her. You know, professional, successful woman. But we must own the whole of IKEA, and like we're getting an extension done soon, and she's just buying loads and loads and loads of things. Like every single day off is build something day, which you know, I guess it's nice.
You're there for.
She's improving. No, I'm not allowed to. I have to just watch. So everything I've built, I've put a hole through. Not like in anger. I just drill through. I'm not that. I'm not that handy.
So who builds it then?
She does. I call her Handy Mandy. She's got her own pink tool set.
Handy Mandy.
Mandy.
Nice.
I make her drinks and play music, and I'll do things, you know, like carry the heavy stuff. Or I did a bit of painting today, and I'm allowed to do within the edges.
Okay.
You know, I'm not allowed to do the outsides.
Little bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, but role reversal, I suppose.
It is, mate. Honestly, I'd happily be a stay-at-home mom if we did ever have our own child, which we're not gonna. Just because we're happy, you know. We've both got a son each, and we get days off because it's not with each other. If we had our own child, that would be 24/7. We wouldn't get these lovely days where they're at their representative parents, where we get to go out and do stuff. So,
well, you do. It looks like you're doing a good job. I feel like with you, when you take on a role, you take it on like it's your role. And
thank you.
And I'm guessing that's what's kind of led you to. My next question is regarding your bodybuilding. Obviously, recently, like myself, you know, to speak for myself, but I know a few of it. I know Joe Bourne. He was kind of like chatting. You know, you'd put an update, we'll talk about it, and then obviously you made the decision to not do that show. I think we was both kind of like, I was looking forward to that. So I bet you've had that quite a bit.
I think I was at my all-time best and would have came in at my all-time best. I think for the show that I was going to compete in as well, and I'm not going to be one of these people that says I could have done, but I think it would have been my category to lose, to be honest, the way that I was coming in, genuinely.
You got really good.
Cheers, bro. But do you know what? What it was taking away from my life just wasn't worth it. And there was only 5 weeks to go, but like one aspect was like my job. I'm now an HS professional working with patients. Like I'm writing their medical records, and I found myself getting complacent. You know that brain fog that you get, that no amount of modafinil can touch at that point. Like that's where I was at, and I was like almost writing the wrong notes in people's private files, which would be a massive data breach. And luckily, I never got to that point. But at the same time, I was on the cusp of dreading going to pick my son up, the son that I fought for a year to get in my life. That, you know, felt like I wasn't meeting his needs. His only needs as a 2-year-old are to shit, to eat, and play. You know, my only job as his dad is to wipe his ass, feed him, and play.
Yeah,
I feel like I just weren't being that attentive with the play, with the being there with him in the moment, with the energy at all. And you know, it's getting me down. My missus would come home late sometimes when I have him. She works later than me some days, and she'd see me almost in tears, mate, because I felt like I hadn't met his needs, and I felt like he knew, and he didn't deserve it. And you know, I'm not saying never again. You know, I haven't took this as an opportunity to go off to Wales. I've stayed in shape. It's like you can go off prep when you're that hungry. And don't get me wrong, I've been having a few free meals with the family, but you know, the consistency of the training's kept up, the meals have kept up, quite clean relatively. And I think I will step in to a couple of things when the time's right. I think my son's at the age now, and I'm at the beginning of this career now where the time's not right. I'm not willing to burn the bridges that I'm building at the minute.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. You've got, I'd say, well, it doesn't have to be a valid reason, but I'd say that is a valid reason. I think the more, for a start, 5 weeks isn't a long time, but it's a long time when you're not enjoying yourself and you realise when you're in a very negative mindset, it's 5 days, it's 5 weeks, sorry, it's 35 long days. They're not good days. It's like getting stabbed every day. You get stabbed every day for 5 weeks. It's a long fucking 5 weeks. It's not like a good. It's like, oh, it's only 5 weeks. It's like it's a drag. We both know how long that fucking the last month or so drags. It really does.
Exactly. How quick did the first 2 months go? You enjoying it?
Quick enough.
You're enjoying it, aren't you, at the start? Because you start to feel a bit lighter. You start to feel a bit more energy. The food's still all right. But it's when you get to that almost terminal stage where you're dragging your feet, but you're still having to put in the cardio. You're still having to put in the training. You're still having to be present for those people around you. I was single the last 2 times I competed.
It's easier. Loads easier.
Oh, God. I could come home and be miserable, you know, and it was no one else's fault, but it didn't matter because no one else is there to deal with it.
That's it.
And it's not nice to be a partner. And she's not why I did it. Like, she would have loved to see me on stage. And I truly believe, you know, and this isn't exactly between me and you, people will see this, but I truly believe that we will see me on stage again. And, you know, probably within a year or two, just not to the point where, you know, all I was focused on was chasing IFBB. That's all it was. I was only going to go for NPC shows. I was only trying to be the best of the best. Like, I want to do it now more for me, you know, enjoy it. Like, IFBB is not my goal now. I don't want to travel the world with it. I don't want to be away from my family unit. Like, they mean the world to me.
What is your goal then? What is your goal now?
Literally just to be that family man. Like, to be the biggest dad in the playground.
Yeah, man.
Be there.
I think as well, like it goes with people see this image of like people on the stage and it's like all glamorous, especially like the PCA bikini shows. It's all like you're a princess for a day. Like, everyone's a fucking princess for a day, and it's like you don't understand how much dedication and, you know, it's something that's been mentioned God knows how many times, but it really does take so much dedication. It's not just like, oh, I've got to do an hour of cardio, I've got to take my steps, I've got to eat 5 meals a day. That's easy. But when you do it every single day and you feel shit, and you're not only just doing X, Y, and Z, but it also means you're not doing other stuff. Like you say, being around your kids and being a good dad's what you want to be doing. When it takes a toll on that, like, you weigh it up, right? this is not that important to me, really.
And it really weren't. And I weighed it up, and I just tried to see a way where I could make sense of carrying on, and I couldn't. And we all get that wall, but the motivation pushes you through. The thought of me on stage wasn't motivating me. It wasn't bringing that fire in my belly like it used to. We both know what I used bodybuilding for originally. What I used to get me through. I was running from something. So that was glamorous to me then. Like now, it's taking me away from the thing I want to be in. It's taking me away from the thing I want to run towards, not taking me away from the thing I'm running from.
It's almost like you've run a bit too far.
Yeah. Like stop, put the brakes on, step back.
Gone past
Be in the present. All you're doing is wishing your life away as well.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on the sport. I love it. It saved my life, and it saved so many other people's lives. Lots of bodybuilders, I think, did it because they had to escape something. But it's already served that purpose. I will go back to it for the enjoyment, but I just need my son to be a little bit older to understand. I want him to know what dad's doing it for, rather than now he can't even string a sentence together. He can't see his dad looking weak when his dad can't tell him why.
How old is he?
2, just turned 2 in April. He can string biscuit and drink.
To start the needs.
Yeah.
So how old are you now?
Me, 30.
30. Yeah, man. I'm just trying to think, because they brought Masters down to 35, didn't they? We got a lot of places.
That could be mine to win and win and win.
I said to Jess, rate is going. I keep thinking to myself, I'd like to compete. Nah, no, I don't. I'll go to a show, watch a show. When you see the lads on the stage, you think, fucking, I missed that. And I told myself, I went and took one of my lads down. Tom is doing his first timers in September. I took him down to watch a show just so he knows what to expect.
Yeah.
And I told myself, I knew I was going to see people on stage that would make me want to get back on stage. But I also know full well, as soon as I get home, I'll be like, nah. And that's literally what happened. I was watching it, and I thought, some of the first timers look mint. I thought, I'd love to get back on there because, they get the crowd's reaction and everyone's cheering. And they've never been on stage before, and they're really having a good time. And I like to see the end result, the end process at the end, because you know how they feel.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got home, I was like, I don't care about it now. Just like, it's so much easier. You coach other people, you take them on stage, and you kind of live it through them. But you can't be bothered to do that hard work anymore, man.
And I've lived it through, a client, not last year, the year before, took him to a show. He came third in his first show, did pretty well. Nice. Proud of him. He's back with me now. He's thinking of doing it again. So you do sort of live it through people, and you stay involved. But
it's fun. I personally, I love bodybuilding. I really do. I find myself talking to regular people who aren't into bodybuilding, and I talk to them about it, but I talk to them on such a basic level that it's like it's only really you and a couple of other lads from the gym. Even at the gym, there's only a couple of them there that are actually into bodybuilding. Most people just train. But when I watch most, or I'll catch up on most shows over the weekends, like the pro shows and stuff like that. And I really enjoy watching it. But I ain't got no one to talk to them about it. I'm talking to Jess about it, and she's like,
no.
Who? Oh, the big one. Oh, him. Oh, yeah, he's big. I mean, they're all big. Yeah. So,
does she try and follow it a little bit for you? Because Mandy started following some of the shows and that, and especially the big ones, just so she could relate to me. When you're in the honeymoon period at the start.
Yeah.
So she learned who Samson was and Nick Walker was and all that, and she'd show me updates of them. And I'm like, who is this girl? It's amazing.
Yeah. I don't think I think she watches some of the. She looked at some of the bikini girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is
Did she do a bikini show?
Yeah, she's done a few. I think she's competed 4 times. If I get that wrong, she ain't gonna be happy. But yeah, about 4 times I think. And she has done well.
She did it.
Sorry.
She continuing with it, is she?
I don't think so. I think it's one of those things where it's sort of like, especially with a girl, it's a bit different, isn't it? I think if you want kids, you can't really compete, and we're not getting any younger. And competing's a bit like you say, there's more important things in the world than competing, especially for me at the minute, and obviously for Jess as well. But we're trying to go through that process in a minute, so I've got to make a deposit in my little tub and drop it off to the hospital and see how many sperm I've got left. Probably
Really, I've literally rang up for a vasectomy last week, so yeah, I'm getting it done.
Opposites then.
Complete opposite. But I mean, I've got mine. So I only really wanted one anyway. Like I say, my partner's got one. And we're not being mean. We're not being nasty when we say we enjoy the time off as well, because they go to their other parents. But it is also nice because you do sort of keep that that time for each other.
I think. I mean, I haven't got kids, so I don't know. But I think a lot of people with kids that have them full time, I think they would probably, if they had an opportunity to have like 2 or 3 days off, I don't think they'd pass it up.
No, exactly.
As long as they know they're going to someone, they're going to be fine and they're going to have a good time, whatever they're doing.
Exactly. But, you check up on them, you worry about them, and you ask about them. Of course you do. But you never wish them away. And if you're asked to have them extra, you have them. The amount of times I've been asked to keep him an extra day, which was crazy because I had to fight for him for a year. But I think the other, the ex is starting to realise now what a handful kids can be, and she appreciates the time off as well now. So,
right. No, it's all good to hear, mate. It's good to hear. Luke.
Yes.
What was your first cycle?
My first cycle?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Test and Decker, 300, 600 to 1-to-2 ratio. It was straight after that I did a boxing match and dropped my weight down to 84 kilos, thinking that I had to be super light. And then I just jumped straight up. First cycle ever. Yeah.
What did you put on to that?
Oh, what weight did I put on?
Yeah.
I must have blew up to about 100 kilos at least. Easily. I mean, now my sort of happy homeostasis is 110. But
that's big.
Yeah.
That's big, man. What's that, like 230? 222? No, 242, ain't it? 110.
Yeah, so at the minute I'm 106.8 as of this morning. And you got to realize I've been having some off-plan meals, but I'm still very lean.
Yeah.
Very lean at 106.8. Definitely under where my body wants to be. It's fighting to get up. I'm still doing 30 minutes cardio every morning. I'm still running a couple of things to keep the weight off, a couple of clean here and there.
You can't just cut it. You can't go off it, or you just can't. There's always a little bit, and it's not like you finish. It's not like you run out of tablets like on show day. You've always got half a tub left, so you just carry it on. Well, why not? Just carry it on.
I'm stopping 5 weeks out. I still got 2 bottles of Clen, him being T3, T4. The only thing I did smash up was the Tren, because the missus said, if you take that, I'm leaving you. So I just smashed it.
Okay. So was you on it whilst you were prepping?
No. But what I did do, stupidly, is when I decided to come off, when I decided to stop prep, the first time, I actually stopped twice. This is how I know it was real. I stopped at about 8 weeks out. I didn't tell anyone. I stopped about 8 weeks out. I didn't tell anyone. And then I sort of kicked my head in for 2 weeks. I think I kicked my head in for a week mentally. And then I jumped back in the prep, but I just picked a different show. That's why I went from NPC to PCA. I went, no, I still want to do something. So I went to PCA. And a couple of weeks after that, the drive was just completely gone. And then I jumped out. But I put Tren in then between that window. I just went, fuck it, I've got it. And straight away, mate, it just doesn't react well to me.
No, it's not.
Very snappy, very moody.
It's not ideal, is it? It's one of those.
I don't think you need it for a prep. If you're in shape, you're in shape. It might help with that drive and aggression towards the end, but you really don't need it to get lean. Right.
No, I think people rely on it because you know how much it can change you, but it's not going to fix anything. It can make you look a bit better, but it's not going to make you. It's not going to. If there was a version of you on stage with no Tren, another version of you on Tren, I feel like the trend guy would win, but that's literally because you're the same. It's like if you're better than that person anyway, regardless of they're on trend, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be better than them. I don't think it makes the bodybuilder, but yeah, trend's heavy, man. Trend's heavy. I'm not a massive. I am a fan, but also I'm not. It's fun when you're on it if you're in a good headspace, but prepping is not a good headspace. So
no, I think it'd be a better drug low dose off season to put some strength and size on, but the toxicity just makes it not worth for that either. To be honest,
yeah. It's like I always think every cycle of training you do, it's like there's a year off. I just tell myself,
I mean, it's neurotoxic, isn't it? There's loads of studies into that.
To rot your brain, or to some extent,
it does.
I don't know enough about tren. I don't really. I mean, I avoid it, to be fair, most of the time.
One thing about tren, it's made for cows, so
yeah, turn them into balls.
Exactly.
I can't remember. I think my first cycle was stereotypically. I was in a gym. It was a leisure centre, so it's like B-Tech gym. I looked at the biggest guy. Oh, I think I must have messaged him. So I don't think I spoke to him in person or at that time, because you don't really go up to big guys and be like, "Hey, I want to take steroids," just in case you get a slap. But it's like, no, I think it was just, I was going to say tramadol, but I think it was turinabol.
Yeah.
And that kind of like brought my veins out a little bit, because I was like 19 years old, probably about 10 stone. So anything would have like made a difference. And then it's like, I think I went from that to straight onto like sus and deca and and anadrol, I think. And that like I blew up to fuck, but it's that fucking them Oxy 50s are bad. I had them for about a week. I noticed that they was completely fucking my head up, so I just literally driving along the road, took them out the window.
Could you eat on the anadrol?
Sorry?
Could you eat on the anadrol?
It's only probably the past year or so that I've struggled with an appetite, but I always had a good appetite. I was eating so much food before. I think when you're younger, like, you just put it away so much.
I used anadrol really, but like people, that's what I hear. That's the feedback. Appetite gone. Just like
it's just like having 3D bowls instead of one. Honestly, mate, it's like just straight up like D-ball is like 9 out of 10 in terms of like weight gain, if you like, and like, you know, aggression and strength. But then you got like anadrol, which is just like probably like 11, and yeah, it just have that with Trent. You turn into a murderer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How long have you been training right now?
What sense, brother? So weightlifting, 2000 and got into it seriously probably about 2013, 14 maybe, I'm not sure. So you see, I did go when I was like 16, when I used to drive a moped a couple of times with my mate.
Yeah.
We drove a moped to some old gym, and like you could do a set, have a fag out the door, and then do another set, and then sit on the moped. Then like you could see your moped from where you was doing the set, just like open door sort of gym. Yeah. The guy was feeding us nitric oxide, and we'd come home shaking it. So it was speed. He said, "What do you say to us? My son and his mates take this when they go clubbing." I'm like, I don't think this is nitric oxide. I remember I used to feel ill from them sessions, but I used to come home and just lie down on the sofa. My mum would ask me what's wrong. I'd be just vibrating. I don't know. There must have been ephedrine in it. The amount I was shaking. But apparently it was nitric oxide, which would only really open up your veins a little bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So
I like ephedrine.
Yeah, I like the ECA stack, ephedrine, caffeine and aspirin to thin the blood. Took that when I was boxing to lose weight. That was why I ended up 84 kilos. But weak.
I remember I had some once. I was training at a local gym, Bodywise in England. This would be years ago. I don't even think I was PT at the time, so it was at least 10 years ago. And I had like these tablets. He was like, I think it was like ECA, yeah, it was like an ECA thing, just made in someone's fucking kitchen sink, and it was like I remember feeling like 2 hours had gone by, and I was like, no, I'm still having a good time, sweating my tits off, but I'm still having a good time. Probably got another hour. I remember being there for about 3 hours. I can't remember what I was training. I think I did a lot of cardio, which is strange for me, but I thought I'm going to get shredded now. But yeah, it didn't. If it was here in front of me, I'd say no, just because it's what do I need it for, you know? I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm doing a
The weight
podcast.
just comes off everywhere as well, unless you are enhanced. Like on something like ECA, you just lose weight. Like it pulls it from everything, like tissue, everything. So,
what Q&As? Should we go through some Q&As?
Yeah.
You go first.
Should we go through the serious one first?
Yeah, do one serious one and then do one just good.
I've got some fucking ridiculous ones, brother.
I think that,
so, a serious one. I was asked, what basic supplements for the average gym goer would you recommend to take daily?
Just as a bulb, just as like a whole. When I think of an average gym goer, I think of someone who's really just goes to the gym and exercises because they don't want to get fat, not particularly training for anything, maybe trains 2 or 3 times a week. There's a bit of cardio, there's a bit of weight. So with that in mind, decent multivitamin, omega 369s. You can do that in quite a high dose, I'd say, because there's a lot of benefits to that get overlooked with things like that. Just health benefits and things like that. Just supplements for health, but also in training, just generic, general creatine, decent creatine. 100%. It doesn't have to be expensive because people fucking think, oh, this creatine's better because it's 40 quid. It's better than that one. There's a 10 pound. Like, no, it's not.
No, all creatine. Yeah. It's the most heavily researched compound out there as well, creatine.
Do you know what? I was saying this just the other day. Like, creatine is good and it does work. There's piles of evidence that says it does work. It simply does work.
Yep.
But I don't know many people that actually use creatine.
It's something that I will never take out of my diet daily. I mean, it's shown now in studies to reduce the chances of Alzheimer's. It's really good for the brain and cognitive function as well. Like we should, as adults, every adult should get 5 grams of creatine in every single day and just be saturated for life.
Do you think you can get 5 grams of creatine a day just through a diet?
I've seen a post of it. You'd need like 2 full red meat meals, a full like fatty fish meal, about 3 pints of milk, plus all your greens. Like the amount you'd need to get 5 grams of creatine per day in food, as opposed to just a little gummy or.
Okay. So I didn't know that. I thought you could get enough from your. I recommend people to use creatine on clients and so on. I never bother with it. For me, I was saying this just the other day. I said, like, if you're a person on steroids, the goal for it kind of like it trumps creatine, but then you've got other benefits aside from like performance of creatine. You're not going to get from steroids anyway. But so yeah, I mean, I probably have to apply that to myself because I don't.
Yeah, mine's purely for cognitive benefits. Same with what do I take now? I jab it daily. I should know. L-carnitine.
Yeah. Okay.
I inject L-carnitine, not for fat loss, even though people use it because it can make you, use triglycerides for energy. I literally do it for the brain fog.
Yeah. Okay.
So I suffer from ADHD, combined type ADHD. I have a very foggy brain, and it helps lift that. A lot of people took it post-COVID. I don't know if we're going to get cancelled now, Brandon, because I said the C word. But yeah, a lot of people took it post-COVID. And, long COVID gives you that brain fog as well.
Okay.
And they've reported really good effects from injecting L-carnitine. And you need to inject it, really. It's not as bioavailable when you take it in a tablet form. So people look at injections and they think steadhead, and they think
scary needle, yeah,
heroin. But injecting L-carnitine, it's like just a very healthy supplement, and it's the best way to make it, available for the body to use.
It's similar in the sense of, like, to avoiding injections, like B12 injections, isn't it? Because it's something that's good for you, but people tend to avoid the injection side of things. But yeah, I mean, they're generally, maybe they're the things they're like the essentials, I'd say, in terms of what everyday gym goer should have. And then on top from there, I'd probably just go and say a decent whey isolate, just because I don't think it's vital, because the average gym goer doesn't need to supplement their protein, because they should be more than capable of getting enough protein in their diet normally. If you have 3-4 meals a day, 30-40 grams of protein a meal, that's more than enough. Then there's also, it's not necessarily placebo, but if you do gym stuff outside the gym, like having a protein shake, it's like it's in your head now. Like, I'm a gym guy now. Yeah, basically, yeah. But yeah, I mean, the things I'd kind of say, just a general basic. Anything you think you would add to that?
Yeah, so I agree with you completely on everything, even the whey protein. Like, I do eat all my food, but I still use whey protein as food, because I will put it into my oats, or I'll put it in with my cream of rice, and I will eat it. So I even agree with that. I never have a shake. I never ever drink a meal. But what I'd add is vitamin D. I think that's very essential. I don't think we get enough, and
I don't think you get enough of that from multivitamins either, do you? You have to have quite a bit of that.
No, so I'd recommend the lowest dose of vitamin D to have daily, about 4,000 IU, and your tablets, you're looking about 300-400. It's nothing really. Yeah. You really got to look for the high dosing. The reason for that is your bone strength more than anything. You can't take in calcium without vitamin D. So if your body needs calcium and it's not got vitamin D present to take it from your diet, it will take it from your bones and make them weaker. And if we're lifting all the time and you're relatively new to the gym, so if this is for any average gym goer or someone that's trying to reduce the effects of aging, like osteoarthritis, if you're not taking vitamin D and you're not getting enough from the sunlight, your bones are going to gradually get weaker. So
it's kind of like a vicious cycle, isn't it? Because it's like, I don't get enough sunlight because I don't leave the house. Why don't I leave the house? So I'm physically quite unfit. So I'm kind of just going to, so it's a bit of a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
A boring one. What do you struggle with? Losing fat. I mean, that's so vague. For me, I think just to keep it sort of like concise, I'd say the majority of, not like competitors of people like, but the majority, like you say, average gym goer, I think the average gym person who struggles with weight loss would typically lose it because they've not done it for long enough, or they just can't do it. And they haven't. And I think the reason for that is because they haven't developed the habits. They haven't developed habits. They haven't kind of like, what's the word? The end goal. They need an end goal for a start. Like, people just want, I want to turn up this bit of weight. Yeah, but you need these markers to reach. So it's just like, rather than trying to get from here to there, go from here to here, and then to there, and then to there.
A to B to C, not A to Z. Yeah,
exactly. I think that's what people, because I'm not there already, and I've been good for like 4 days, and I haven't lost 2 stone yet. It's like, I tried it really hard and it's not working. But you need to plan week by week, day by day sort of thing. It's not that hard, really. But yeah, man, I don't think it's anything other than that. I mean, it might be, but I don't think it's.
The only difficulty they're finding with dropping weight is literally being consistent with it. It's a mental battle at the end of the day, and getting married to it as well. Getting too married to the scale and allowing yourself to, become emotionally upset when the results are a bit slower is going to slow it down more. You are going to raise stress. You're going to raise cortisol. You're going to slow down your body's process into burning fat. It's going to want to hold on to more. It's going to want to protect you from feeling sad by making you hungry. And so just enjoy the process. Like, make small goals in performance for a week or 2.
That's it. That's a perfect one. Yeah. because the end goal comes from performance, doesn't it? It's not like you're not going to the gym to lose weight. You're going to the gym to exercise, to train in that hour. You're not trying to lose weight whilst you're at the gym. So whilst you're at the gym, take these little steps. Oh, I did 60 on my bench press. Go for 65. Go for 70. Just do these little bits, and then you'll enjoy it then, because it's like, but what happens when you get you get your bench press 60 and you get to 70, it's like, oh, I'm happy now. I've had a good day. I'm enjoying the process. And then the next day you can do the same thing for something else. It's not like you're trying to get that one end goal. It's, like I say, performance. If you can look for goals in performance, and that's I think that's a really good thing to aim for.
Very good. Brother, what's your timer saying on your thing?
It's saying I've got 3 minutes left. What I'll do, I know, mate, I feel like we've only just started. What we'll do, I'll just stop it, start it again, and I'll put the videos together.
Yeah, we definitely need more time than that. Yeah. Free Zoom. Whoop.
All right, what's your next one? I've got another one, but it's boring again.
All right, I've got a fun one, which me and the missus have we both said the same one.
Yeah, okay.
If you could put any chocolate bar up your bum, what would it be and why?
So when I was in primary school, I won this. I've only ever won one competition in my life that I can remember, and it was a colouring competition. I was in year 3, and they gave me a kilo bar of Cadbury's Dairy Milk. So I mean, I'll give it a go. Might take some time. I might have to split it, into little like rows, but I'll get it in there, mate.
So is this why? Because it's a chocolate bar you won, you're married to it?
It means a lot to me, that chocolate bar, because it reminds me of I won. I beat fucking all these kids with a shitty colouring. No, mine was the best. I can't even remember what I did. I think it was like an advert. You have to like draw an advert for something, and I won. And it's a part of me, and I'd like to keep it a part of me.
Inside of you. Well, we both chose Lion Bar because there's a nice texture.
That's got texture.
Exactly. So if anything's going to feel nice coming in or out, it's going to be a Lion Bar.
I suppose it depends how you look at it. I suppose if you want to just, start off, if you're not like an intermediate, if you're like a beginner, I'd probably go Twix.
Yeah.
Twix or Kit Kat even.
A little bit ribbled. Yeah. But also, Lion Bar's not that suspicious. If a Lion Bar drops out your pants, it kind of has the same shape and consistency.
Yeah.
Of a shit.
And it's part of it will be melted, so you're going to get that splat when it lands. So it's already kind of like, it just looks like a shit, basically, which easy to hide. I'll be honest, Luke, I don't know about this one. I should do, because 70% of the clients I've ever had in the past 10 years of coaching are women. Menopause, I struggle with menopause. I think
menopause.
I'm not clued up on that. I'm not very good at researching things that sounds harsh, but if something doesn't interest me,
so it is something I work with in the NHS, to be fair.
So menopause, a lady obviously struggling with menopause. So I think just from a fitness perspective, I don't know anything about this, but I think you do.
Yeah. So like I said, I work for the NHS as a health and wellbeing coach. So we coach people through long-term health conditions. Basically, that's my job. So it's to take away the clinical need for the NHS so much and help people actually manage their own life. Menopause is a big thing that people struggle with. I will admit that Wendy, my counterpart in the surgeries, she is more specialised in that. I specialise in more male things, but I do learn a thing or two. We sit on some of the same courses, and one thing is obviously it's a big hormonal change, isn't it? So, it's the lowering of estrogen and progesterone in a woman. That's why their menstrual cycle stops. They're essentially becoming infertile and getting ready to move on to that next cycle in life. With the lowering of these hormones, your bone mass and your muscle mass and your bone density is going to get smaller, and also your ability to burn fat is going to come down. So you need to focus on looking after your bone health. So like we were talking earlier with vitamin D. So you can actually get prescribed vitamin D from the doctors if you're going through menopause or aging, because the hormones that protect your bones are lowering anyway. So definitely focus on things like that. Focus on actually getting some hormone replacement therapy to help you. You know, I think that's essential. Like, men should get testosterone replacement therapy. I may or may not have started mine now by myself. But yeah, get them necessary things sort of ticked, and then look into training, you know, compound exercises, strength training, you know, do the things that counteract the body losing muscle by giving it a need to keep it. So your body is not going to let go of tissue that it sees as necessary, even if it's at a state where it wants to lose muscle, because it sees it as survival. If you keep lifting the same weight, even if you do less reps, if you lift the same amount of weight, your body sees a need to be that strong. So they could essentially lower the volume, but focus on heavy lifting. To an extent. I'm not going to tell an elderly woman that's never lifted to go in there and start deadlifting 1 rep maxes.
Yeah, no,
I would still get an elderly woman to pick up their grandchild more. You know, I would get them to sit down and do exercises where they're lifting their grandkid, or they're lateral raising baked beans. You know, that is the sort of stuff that we get them to do. We get them to do exercises from home, you know, if they're not used to it. And eating a hormone-friendly diet. So soya is good. Soya has been shown in studies to help women raise estrogen levels naturally. And funny enough, there's the opposite effect for men. Whereas men think they can't have soy products because they're going to turn into a woman, it doesn't really show that much effect for men. So men can have soy products.
This is why you work for the NHS and I lost my gym.
We need to get into how the gym got lost. I think we missed that on the
first. Yeah, well, yeah, we'll come back to that. So basically, early January last year, yeah, it was too expensive. Everything just kept creeping up and up and up. Like the cost, it was about, I can't remember now off the top of my head, but it's nearly $5,000 a month just to keep the doors open, keep the lights on. Do you know what I mean? And it's a personal training studio, so it wasn't a membership gym. Like, I think it was probably taking maybe $4,000 a month. So we was never quite earning enough money to. I think at some point we was, but I was always having to work there, do my own PT sessions, and put that into the gym funds, pay for it. So
yeah,
man, for me it was just like it was a very difficult business to run, mainly because I didn't know any other business like it. From what I can think of, I can't think of another gym at the time. There wasn't any like small group personal training studios out there that ran purely on classes and memberships. So there's not like I can. Oh, if I'm opening a little corner shop or something,
there was one in Leicester. I forget the name of it now.
Yeah,
but there was one in Leicester that I nearly joined, and it is very unique.
That's the thing. So, and even that, they're all run very differently. It was really hard to run. So for me, it was like I was trying to run the business in terms of like the paperwork, which is fucking boring, but there's so much of it. Do all the, you know, books and whatever you need to do, all that shit. Try and manage like the coaches and staff and memberships. Do all the social media, which I employed someone who did a very good job for me. She took over that and a bunch of other stuff. And then it's like, I've got to do my own PT, which is full-time. I've got like 4 full-time jobs at once. Yeah. And I've got to build the gym myself. I've got to do, I have to do everything. It's too much, man. And yeah, so it's that. It was the bills. It just kept creeping up and up and up. And at the time, towards the end, I had a business investor. Kind of went tits up, and the money that I was supposed to get, I didn't. It come at a wrong time. I was behind on the rent, and I was at home. Next thing you know, I get a call. I got a message off Lucy, the girl who's working for me, and she says the bailiffs are here. They're fucking coming in and making notes for all your shit. And I was like, fuck. I knew something bad was going to happen. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was just like there and then. So I just thought they'd say, "Oh, because you owe money, you've got to leave all this stuff here." Oh, fuck off, mate! I bought this with my money. Like this is my money that I made in lockdown. Which don't have to go into how that come about. But yeah, it was one of them. It was like I fucking took it all and I sold it. I'm not giving this fucking bailiff anything, mate. This is mine. January is January is quite hard because going off on a bit of a tangent. We moved out into this big house, which is what we're in now. The reason why we moved out in here because it was a friend's house. It was much cheaper than like a 1-bedroom flat. There's no rent deposit or anything like that. Bit of work needed doing to it, but we did the work and we had like 3 months rent free, which was bonus because I ain't got no money. I just lost my fucking gym. One of the jobs that needed doing was the fact that it's the floor. It needed a new floor, so you take the floor up and the floorboards. You just got like the ground as your floor. It had a big fucking hole, like 2 meters wide. And I remember walking in the front door one day and just standing there. I was just fucking. I've lost my gym. My house hasn't even got a floor. I've got no fucking money. So what the fuck? Why is this? This time last year I was up here. I was loving my life. Now, not got anything. I remember I was shouting in the street like Jess was just saying something like, "Well, what's up? What's wrong?" And I just lost my temper. I was like, "Fucking, I've got nothing. I hate my fucking life. I've got nothing." I remember I kept saying I've got nothing, but I was looking at her whilst I was saying that.
Yeah.
And I realised that I ain't got nothing. This is what I've got. I've got this person and she's here with me. But how many girls do you know that would like they're happy to be with you when you got something? When you lose everything, they'll fuck right off, mate. But she's been a rock. She's been a rock for me, to be honest. And the family have helped me out as well a lot. But that's why I had a year off coaching because I felt a bit of an imposter, if you get what I mean.
Bro, that imposter syndrome, we need to talk about that more because it's real. It's real.
It really is. I thought if I put something about coaching out on my Instagram, I thought like everyone's gonna be like, what's he doing? He can't even he can't do it, he doesn't know what he's doing. But I got such a good feedback over when I started putting posts up and asking for reviews. And it just made me feel so happy that people actually still think that, I've got a bit of clout in the game, so to speak.
Well, I have doctors and dietitians refer patients to me saying they don't know what to do with them. Yeah. And I'm going, what? Like, this is the guy that was almost on the street a few years ago. Like, people looking at me wanting to cross the road.
Yeah. I mentioned Jess was like, who are you doing it with? I said, Luke. I was like, who? I mentioned you a few times to Jess, and you're now known as the person who she doesn't know who it is. There's one person is like, who? But basically, you're that guy that's just like, who? The same person I told you about last time. I kind of explained to her that, like, you've come a long way since the past 5-6 years. You've come long way. So yeah, fair play.
The imposter syndrome hits you fucking hard when you've been there to there. Like, it's such a you wouldn't believe the story, you know what I mean? If or if I traveled back in time and told that guy what he was going to be, like, first of all, he just stabbed him and took all his money. But yeah,
it's good, man. It's good. Look, you got to dig yourself out of this hole and think to dig it. When you're in a hole, you need to dig yourself out. To dig yourself out of certain holes, you need the right tools. When I say tools, I mean people. You need the right people around you because I've got like my best mate Jack. He's the sort of person that if you're in the dark, he'll come with a torch. Do you know what I mean? Like, not all mates are like that. You've got mates are mates, but he's one of them lads that like he kind of knows when you're in this shit. He could just like sit there and tell like, oh, some friends fucked something up again. Like, need to help him out, sort of thing. But and obviously, as I say, Jess is like she's like the main thing that kind of held me together. But Dad gave me a job working with him fitting ceilings, which strangely I really enjoy.
I did wonder. I've seen a few stories before. Like, I didn't know if you had a new project that you were doing, that you were building or something.
That's what people were saying. Like, oh, what are you making now? I was like, oh, no,
no. Like, what are you doing now? That's what I thought, because you built the gym. Like, I thought, what's he building now?
No, it's fun. I enjoy it, mate.
You don't know if you don't ask what
Yeah,
people are
no,
going through.
it's a job that I do enjoy. I
It's
don't
admirable that
intend
you
on
showed
stopping
that
doing
though,
it.
because you presented yourself that well that people still thought you were on top, even when like
Yeah.
I don't think the world needs to know when you're in the shit. Like people that just like shout about it. Like, it's fine once you've been in the shit to talk about coming out of it, you know, to inspire someone.
Yeah.
But to just
When you're in
moan
it.
shit, like just go through it. Like have the person that's by your side, like my partner. I'll point there. She's sat in the corner somewhere. You know, she's been my rock through everything, through the whole court case, through over my son, through the times I've lost my head. She's been there. She made me cry tears of emotion I didn't know I had plenty of times for the support that she's given me. She's turned me human. It's weird. But yeah,
you need that's what I was saying about you need the right tools, and she's obviously the right tool for you.
She's the hammer. She's handy Mandy. She's
exactly
the job's done.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, last year was rough, man. But
I'm glad you're coming out of it, mate. It seems to be good.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think that's why we've connected again, isn't it? You've been putting your contact out there. I've, you know, spoke to you about it, told you it's looking good. You know,
Well, I mean, it gave me something else to focus on as well, because I work nights and I only really work 3-4 hours a night. So in that day, I've not really woken up late because I've not worked long. So in that day, I'm doing nothing. But I really enjoy making these videos and doing some content.
I mean, I started trying to do stuff, but ADHD, until I'm fully medicated for it, I'm always going to start something and never finish it.
Yeah.
Always.
But that's why you're not allowed to do the IKEA.
Yeah, Mandy doesn't let me do the IKEA stuff because I just start it all right, and then I'm banging it together by the end.
I bet she'd love having like half a shelf and half a chair to sit on.
I thought she would. Half a ceiling painted.
Yeah. Man. Right, so that's menopause done. I think that was a really good explanation, Lee.
Thanks, mate. I kept it brief as possible, but in the day, I don't know.
You could go on about it forever, really, couldn't you?
I could go on more, but not to the point where it's going to benefit them. Just one more advice is get in a good circle. There's plenty of groups out there. Like, you're not suffering alone. Don't feel alone. People think like the world's come crashing down on them when they're going through something like that. Every woman is going through that at that point in their life, and there is groups.
I should train this woman, and I remember she come in one day, and she was like, I think she's in her 50s. She's in her early 50s, good 50s, but yeah. I remember coming in one day, she said she was pissed off, and she was like, I can't remember. I might be talking out my arse now, boss. She said that she started menopause, finished menopause, and didn't even know she went through it, and she was annoyed.
That's a fucking win, isn't it?
Like, yeah, but you didn't know about it. It's fine. But I think she didn't say this, but I think she was like, I think that made her feel old.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, it might be. I might be wrong, but
do you know what? Though some people go through menopause in their 30s. It just depends on when the body wants to do it.
Yeah, I had someone
that guys in their 20s in America are on TRT, like, and genuinely need it.
Yeah,
it's the same difference. I need it. I'm going to the doctors for it.
Feel weak. I need it.
I'm going on Friday, but I won't show up as low. But I'm going to say to them, look, I'm on, and I'd like to stay on, but I'd like you to pay for it because I'm probably not going to come back to my normal now, am I? Really? Don't start bullshit. I've been on for 4 years. I've never come off. Like, it's been blast and cruise. That's the life of a competitor. Why would you come off? Why would you go backwards? Like, you have a show to win, a goal to achieve, and your goal, unfortunately, there's a competition that puts you on an even playing field to do that. It's one of them,
and it's fun. Next one for you. So menopause. Well, what's the next one? What you got?
So this one's not dirty, but it is thought invoking. Okay. Nice. And to be honest, I don't have an answer for this one yet, and I got sent this yesterday, and I still don't have an answer for it. You're stranded on a desert island and you can only take 3 things with you. So that's pretty standard. You hear that a lot. But one of them you can only have for 45 minutes and then it's gone.
45 minutes.
What would you have for 45? And then you've got 2 things left.
It's a Highland. Okay. So I was going to say, like, I only got something in 45 minutes. Well, I was going to say, like, I'll just have loads of seeds, like potato seeds, plant them, and then, like, technically they're not like the same seeds anymore in 45 minutes. They would have changed slightly. So you can't take them back. So they're mine now. I'm going to have loads of potatoes.
Yeah.
And obviously, my other 2 things would be like cheese, a nice second potato. No, I don't know. I think, yeah, it's very thought invoking because you got it, because all your attention then turns to like, what am I having for 45 minutes?
Mm-hmm. So I could go caveman with this.
Yeah.
You know, I could have a flint to light a fire, and I could have a hunting knife because I can tie that to a bamboo stick if I want to fish. I can cut wreaths down if I want to. Remember, you're speaking to an ex-military man here, Bren. For 45 minutes, I might have a satellite phone. I can make whatever call I need to within that 45 minutes, and then the phone's gone. I've given them the location.
Nice.
And then all I got to do is hunt and build a fire until they come.
So while you were saying that, I just thought I could have 2 things. I could just have like that. I think it is Starlink, isn't it? Like that thing you just get internet anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have that. And my phone, because I thought I'll have my phone, but I don't really need my phone. I thought I'll have my phone, but before that, I thought I'll have
45 minutes worth of battery on it. There you go. There's your 45 minutes.
Kind of like that really makes it more specific, but I don't know, man. I don't know. There's no right answer, really, is there?
No, it is a hypothetical. Nothing we answer on today's show is something that we're going to do, by the way. Trust me, because there's some questions that are very hypothetical on here.
I like them. They make you think. They make you imagine certain scenarios. I like this question because it really makes you think. So you need to decide what you're going to do when you get there. Obviously, am I going to escape or am I going to accept the fact that I'm going to die? That would then dictate specifically what you do take. Because if you plan on leaving and you need a load of stuff to help you leave, I don't know, Matt.
Castaway, proper castaway moment. Have yourself a little Wilson.
Start loads of happy pills so I can just enjoy myself while I'm there, not know I'm gonna die, not think about dying. Probably DMT because I always wanted to try it, and I thought a desert island would probably be a good place to try it.
How good does DMT sound when you hear comedians talk about it? Especially when you hear comedians.
We're podcasters now, so we've got to talk about podcast stuff.
Okay. Is DMT a podcast good topic? It could be.
I don't know what I'd take. This is a tough.
Do we do one episode where we both take DMT live?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have a long one. Watching me.
It might be a long one. It'll be just like, I don't know, we'll be in a different place for 3 hours, but we'll look at this. It's been on for like 3 minutes. We're just running around the room. Don't know, man. I've always wanted to try it because it sounds pretty cool, but
same. Or at least that ayahuasca stuff that Dorian Yates takes now. Yeah. He's really into it.
Well, he's a bodybuilder, so
exactly. So it kind of relates.
Yeah, well, that's our drug.
That's ours.
If you were to save money or buy Tren, would you use Tren E or Tren A?
Tren A. Tren A all the way. Tren E stays in your system too long.
For me, you could do both. You could save money and use Tren E because you wouldn't have to use as much Tren.
You wouldn't have to use as much. You're right. Mandy knows I wouldn't use any Tren. We've already been over that.
No, I hate tread.
She's came into the room now. She weren't here for that first bit where I said I'm never going to use it again, and I smashed it up. And now that's the hypothetical. She's looked over at me.
All right, I'll sort you some out in a bit. Oh no, it's you next. It's you next.
Okay. Would you?
I'll keep looking down to put this lid on.
I've got a solid answer to this one, and it's not the first one you'd expect. Would you rather give the first 90% of a blowjob or the last 10%? And why? You are giving the blowjob to the man. Do you want to get him there, or do you want to just jump on when he's about to finish?
I'll probably just jump on at the end because
Thank you.
I don't have to put it all the way in for a start. I think the initial 90% is gonna. You've got to you have to at least pretend you enjoy it.
Thank you. This is my answer.
But then if you do the last 10, you ain't got to do anything. You just got to stand there with your mouth open. That's it.
You just literally a cum dumpster for 10 seconds and then you spit it out.
Yeah. It doesn't. Well, you don't actually have to do anything apart from accept the semen. But the 90 minutes, you have to. You got to perform a little bit. You got to tickle the balls a little bit. Maybe even slip a finger in a two, which has never happened to me. You got to have fun with it. I don't want to have fun.
Thank you. Yep. No, 100%. The last 10%.
Right. Is that what the answer you were going to say?
Yep. Everyone else goes first 90%. I ain't having come in my mouth. I'm like, what? So you're going to spend like a good hour? Because let's face it, it's not like you're enjoying it. Like, if you're enjoying it, you might be able to get them there quickly, but you're not going to be able to pretend you're enjoying that. So it's going to take a very long time to get them to that last percent.
Yeah,
isn't it? So
what's it going to last?
Invested.
How long's a bloke? Like 10 minutes?
It all depends on how much test, how much tren.
So if it is 10 minutes, and 10% of that. It's fine. Yeah. Right. I've got another one. This one keeps coming up, and I think people put it on my stories just because they know I keep getting it. Struggle with life.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Give me one sec. I need a quick wish.
Yes, mate. He'll edit this out, probably. Where's my vape? Your vape? Don't know, baby. The chong in mine. It might be. How are you? You enjoying some of that now?
Not my mic with me, so you could probably hear me do a wee.
So right. Did you say something?
Yeah, so I've got my mic with me, so you can probably.
Oh, brilliant.
I bet you can hear
it. I heard you say, I bet you can hear me. Fucking starving still. Bro, you ever had one of the meal for twos at Taco Bell?
I ever had?
Yeah. Like the big...
No, I've never been.
So I just had the big meal for two plus a large load of fries, and I swear to God, it didn't touch me. I'm starving.
It's because you're a fucking humongous beast, basically.
It's because today we did something. Yeah, we let Mandy's son Alfie, my beloved stepson that I love with all my heart, best friend. We let him feed me today.
Oh shit! Yeah. What did
So he got to pick all my food. So think about this. I deadlifted today at 5:30 this morning. Went till 10 o'clock when we got him back. I was allowed to eat. And
what were you deadlifting for?
Well, I was only there till 7, but it was a deadlift session. But basically, I thought, well, I'm just going to fast until I see him. Like, I don't believe in the anabolic window. I believe in getting it all in the day. I actually think there's benefits to lifting and staying fasted for a little bit. Especially when you're trying to lose weight like I am. I'm not trying to gain tissue, but so at 10 o'clock he let me eat one jammy Dodger. He's like, I want a jammy Dodger. You can have one. Okay.
Wait, how old is he? 5?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're just letting him be the boss for the day. You know, it's not a normal day, so just letting him pick. And then I took him to B&M to get some water guns because we were going to have a water fight, but weather no good for it. 40 quid well spent. But I had to talk him in. What kid do you have to talk in? I had to manipulate him to get a Mackey's breakfast. He was like, "Oh, I've already had a breakfast." I was like, I felt like a hobbit. I was like, "What about a second breakfast?" I finally got him into it, so I got to have one of them. And then a couple hours after that, because he's playing this new game that we got because it was overcast, I'm trying to talk him into it again. He's like, "Not yet, not yet, not yet." And then eventually he's like, "I'm like, can I have something?" And he goes, "Okay, you can have another jammy dodger. Bring me one as well." So by 3 o'clock, I'd had 2 jammy dodgers and a little McDonald's breakfast. Like nothing compared to the food that I would normally have banged down me by 3 o'clock.
What is that all you've had?
No. So then we had my nieces come round, and I've got the new Ninja Creamy. So
Yeah,
made some ice cream. And Mandy got me that for Father's Day. So it's more of a gift for the house. So I'm actually having every meal. My last meal of the day is frozen yogurt, but like it's Greek yogurt, blueberries, banana, whey protein. But for the kids, we made a proper like naughty one. So did that vanilla ice cream with Biscoff and cookie bits in and everything. So I had that, and then we went to Taco Bell. We had a big Taco Bell. So it ended nicer because I was expecting today to be like a big shitloading day. You know what I mean? I thought sounds like, I stayed really clean throughout the whole week, and I was like, right, it's going to be my dirty day. And it was just, I was so hungry. I kept saying to Mandy all day, I was like, why is he not feeding me?
You know what? That's ridiculous. What's that, about 400 calories?
Yeah.
If that. Yeah. Jess bought a same thing you got. She bought one of them about 2-3 weeks ago. And I thought,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
See, I was like,
every night I can have ice cream. I don't even like ice cream, but it's just because I can have ice cream every night now that I'm having it.
I was thinking in my head, like, that was 200 quid, right? That's a lot of ice cream I could have bought. Why? But to be fair, she makes them and they're fucking sick. Like, they're really good, man. Really good.
Well, the milkshakes are better, I've found now. So the milkshakes you can make are really good, like proper top quality. Like I find the ice cream can be hit and miss, especially if you're trying to make it healthy. Like if you make it crap, probably. But like the milkshakes are second to none. I've not tried a frappe yet. I want to try and do that. Like you can do it. It's got every feature on it.
Yeah. To be
fair,
you
see how much sugar's in this crap. Like you have a look at the ingredients book, and it's like 80 grams of sugar, 100 grams of sugar. You got to pour into this thing. It's like, I don't. I just use whey protein instead to sweeten.
Yeah, it's a lot better. But yeah, no, she's getting really into it. I like the sorbets you can make. They're just like mango, pineapple.
I've not done that yet. I've not done that.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
Nice. So I'm not a massive on spending money. So when she's bought it, I was like, "What's not that for?" But
it's Mandy's comfort mechanism, spending money. The house benefits, like I said.
Well, this is it. I'll benefit from this ice cream maker, so I don't mind anymore. No. How do we get onto that? Did I mention struggling with life?
Yes.
I did. Then I went for a wee and I came back. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think we actually answered it.
They're struggling with life. On what aspect? So there's things in life you can struggle with. You can struggle with fatigue. You can struggle with not being happy about yourself. In yourself, you can struggle with anxiety, mental health, low motivation. Maybe this person just needs to set a couple of small goals that they're found enjoyment in, and get them back into their life. That is my job as a health and wellbeing coach. I would suggest that they speak to their GP because most GP practices should have them now. Some don't. It's a very new role in the NHS, which has very much been mine to develop into what I want. But the idea is that we help people in a non-clinical way, like I said, to manage their life and get their life back in control. So the idea of the way that we coach is we don't actually tell people what to do. We speak to them, offer them a safe space for them to realize what it is they want, and then we facilitate that space for them to set them goals, and we find a way to make it achievable for them. So if, for example, they say they want to go for a walk every day, and I say on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you find yourself able to do that? They say, oh, well, about 3. I say, okay, why is it a 3 and not a 2? And they say, oh, because I really want to do it. So it's not a 2 because then I wouldn't want to. Okay, why is it not a 4 or 5? Oh, well, you know, because I end up getting stuck on my phone, blah, blah. So then I can say to them, well, what if you left your phone here and, didn't go onto your phone, or you switched that off for a bit? Then what would it be? And they're like, oh, then it'd be like a 7 because I wouldn't have my phone as a distraction. So then they're already figuring out like, oh, well, if I just don't touch the phone and go for the walk first, or if I do it first. So we just help them figure out what they want to do, but it has to come from them. So like this person saying life, like that's going to be very unique to them. So we can't tell them you should be doing this, 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 and this, wake up at 6 every morning, get the sunlight, all right, because it's not going to be motivated to them to do that. We know what everyone should do. It's got to be unique to them. So they need to really figure out what in life they're struggling with. And it could be many things, but figure out what the priority is and what's making them suffer the most, and set small, achievable goals, short term, to eventually reach that endpoint.
Yeah.
And if you can tick one box every week or two, you're going to get more motivated as you go. Yeah.
Adds up, doesn't it? Yeah. I think struggling with life, it's sort of like, I think typically struggling with life. I think a lot of times people say they're struggling with life when they're struggling with work. Because if it's like, oh, I'm struggling at the gym, you'd say struggling at the gym, or you'd be a bit more specific. But like work is 5 out of 7 days in your week, isn't it? So struggling with life. I mean, if it is work, then it's not life, is it? I think
no. And I feel sorry for people that do see work as a struggle. I'm very lucky that I wouldn't call my job work, because work to me sounds like effort. Whereas I feel like I'm achieving something every day. I'm excited to do it. So it must be difficult.
This is kind of why I like doing what I do, because it's I like making stuff. I like spending a couple of weeks somewhere and then like, oh, it's a new ceiling. I know it's not overly interesting to the majority of people, but when we go and fit like a new Tesco and there's no ceiling and we've got to put it in, it's like it's a lot of ceiling we've done. Do you know what I mean? And it's quite a big job.
You're seeing something. Nice. You're seeing something. It's like what I do, mate. You're seeing something run down. It's like what you do as a coach as well. Yeah. You're seeing something not at its best, and when you're done with it, you see it better, if not perfected. You're seeing a process of something positive. Or some people will go into the same shit day in, day out, clock in, clock out. Life must become very boring for them. But then they've got to realize why they do that. What is the need for that? What is motivating them to do that? Maybe they've got a hobby that costs them money and they need to do that for that. So they should focus their thoughts on that as opposed to around the work.
I think as well, like say, because if it is work, it's not your life. What I mean by that, I just literally mean take yourself out of your own. Just take yourself out of your own body and look at yourself. And if you could see yourself, you'd see that you hate your job, but everything else feels shit because you're in it. The work puts you in a shit mood. Logically, if you don't enjoy your job, you get another one. Logically, on paper, you can say that. But doing it when you're in that shit situation, it's harder. I understand that. But I think a lot of it can come from exactly what you said. But I also think sometimes you just got to take a step back and analyze things and actually look at where the problem is. But yeah.
They've got to buy this book, The Daily Stoic.
Do you read a lot of books?
No, I have ADHD. I buy a lot of books and I start a lot of books, but I don't read them. But this one is good because it's only 1 page a day. This is it's got like the 1st of January, the 2nd of January, it even accounts for a leap year. But it's Stoic mindset, Greek philosophy of things out of your control, not having control over you, and never feeling angry about anything. And
I'd read a book like that.
Yeah.
one day, one page a day. That's an achievable target for me, so I can do that.
Exactly.
What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, no, I was just I was watching this podcast earlier today, and they mentioned something about, I don't want to knock on anyone because I know people do things differently. I think I do things differently to a lot of people, to be fair. But all these self-help books that a lot of women buy, a lot of men buy them, but a lot of women buy them. No, a lot of people buy them. Let's just stick with that. I can think of a lot of blokes that buy them, but how many self-help books do you need to buy before you actually start to help yourself? Like, you're just reading all these things. One person saying, help yourself by this, try this, no, do it like this. If you got to keep buying these self-help books, like,
eventually you got to manage yourself.
Yeah, buy one and apply it. Don't just read it and I like the idea of that, but I'm just going to read another book telling me that I'm beautiful and I should love myself.
You're waiting for the one that's a lot of the time people are asking a question because they want to hear their answer.
Yeah, mate, all the time, 100%.
Yeah.
They want. There's people. I think a lot of people that are unhappy with something in their life, they just want someone to. I think a lot of times they don't want to fix it. They just want someone to listen to them and tell them and agree with what they're saying, and then just kind of, give you a hug. That's it. But like, I can't. I'm not very. What's the word? Sympathetic. I don't really show things like that. Like, Jess says all the time. But if she's upset about something, she tells me a problem.
I don't believe in sympathy. I believe in empathy. Yeah. I believe in recognizing someone's struggle and helping them through it. But sympathy is more either one, putting yourself above someone and looking down on them and going, "Oh, poor you," and seeing them as a lower thing. And it's also enabling them to think, "Oh, I am a victim." So it's okay to stay here, sort of thing. If they get sympathy, if they get empathy, they can feel empowered that someone's with them and they're going to rise out. Well, we were right saying that we'd have lots to talk about and lose track of time.
Yeah, we've done a lot. It's really this is obviously the first time we're doing this, and I was thinking, like, I know you can talk, I know I can talk, but it doesn't really matter because you can still have like dead silence sometimes. But it's just been it's been fun. It's been good. But let's finish off on a few quick fire funny Q&As.
Yeah, so I've got 3 left. One of them's really pointless and stupid, and it's just based from a it's ridiculous. My mate asked me, how many chicken breasts should I inject per pound of body weight? How much chicken does he need to inject into himself per pound of his body weight to look like us?
Well, I'm trying to think. So 100 grams of chicken breast is about 25 grams of protein, let's say. And if he needs 200 grams of protein, then I'd say he needs to inject 400 grams of chicken breast.
Yeah.
You get that protein content
per day.
It's a sensible answer to a ridiculous question.
What would you use as a mix? What would you use as a mixing oil for that?
Fuck knows. I don't know. You need some
corn seed.
Injecting a lot. You have to inject a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Second-hand toilet roll or stingers after you've had the runs. The paper, the toilet roll, is your mum's.
Oh, that's fine. I'll use my mum's. Whatever. I ain't fussed.
I don't know if I could face it. I don't know if I could face my mum's second-hand. Like, I could use my son's because I wipe his ass all the time. I face that. God forbid, I could probably use the missus's. I smell them. But I don't know. I mean, she never.
Girls don't poo. Girls don't poo.
Don't know if I could face my mum's second-hand toilet roll. I just don't know if I could.
See, I'd say my mum's. The benefits of using my mum's is because I know she has a lot of like fibrous food. She has a lot of veg. She has a lot of vegetables. Yeah, it was just
I like
so
your
I
mum.
don't
How is
think
she?
it'll be messy.
I haven't seen her in a while.
She's good. She just got back from the
That's a good
Philippines. I
topic.
picked her up from the airport.
Yeah.
This is mad. So I picked her up from the airport last Saturday. She said there was a couple of days where it was 52 degrees, which is unfucking real. But not only that, when I got to the airport, I met Blue, which I thought was fantastic. I got a photo with Anthony Costa. I didn't actually meet the rest of the members, Leroy and Duncan and Simon Webb. I didn't meet them, but I saw them. I didn't really want to go up to them and talk to them because I just got off the plane. I thought they were pretty worn out. But yeah, I love Blue and I met them.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man. Where we're talking about 52 degrees. Yeah. She's good. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, I can't imagine my mum having like messy poos. I think they're just probably quite reserved,
Consistent.
Yeah, and probably not really, not really loose. But then nettles, I feel like you've just got to grit your teeth and just wipe really hard once, and then it's not going to hurt after that. Do you mean? You can use them over and over again. Yeah.
Well, I've sat in nettles when we had to shit in the woods on Navy training exercises.
Oh, so your hole was exposed to the nettles then?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice, but it wasn't a pain I can remember either. If you know what I mean.
It might be okay, but it just
affected me.
Your balls and your gooch are there, and it's quite. I think they're quite sensitive areas.
Yeah, but our balls aren't hanging that low. So
mine aren't. Mine are fucking under my chest.
Okay, last one I've got. It just sounds nasty, to be fair, either way. Would you rather sit on a cactus or a spicy rolling pin? And why? Like there's an explanation for either.
Cactus or a spiky rolling pin?
No. Spicy rolling pin.
Spicy rolling pin?
Yeah, like there's a bit of spice to it. Like it's going to have the same feel going in as a night after Vindaloo is going to feel going out.
I'm going to say
consistent.
I'm going to say the rolling pin just because it's smoother texture.
Absolutely. Imagine the cactus coming out, not just going in, but pulling out.
Because it's like that. It's like that kind of shape. It's going to go. Your bum's going to be like, whoa, like that. Whereas if it's just a rolling pin, it's just like, oh, like that. It's just consistent.
Yeah.
I suppose you could just drink loads and loads of milk to line your lower intestines and your bowels and stuff, so it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the rolling pin, mate.
Yeah, I think it's just going to leave you with wounds.
Yeah.
And you can't, obviously you can't wipe and stuff. I think you've got a bit of spice up there. It's the more you poo, it's kind of like everything just you'll like rub it out.
Flushes out.
Yeah.
Whereas you're just going to get infected if you've got spikes. Open puncture wounds in there.
There was something I wanted to bring up. I just need to share my screen. Hopefully it will work.
Yeah, that's everything I've got anyway.
I don't know how to use Zoom yet. Yeah.
No. View.
Can you see my screen? Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Need to just close all my porn tabs.
Yep.
Which one I was looking at? I think which is your most recent update? Is your most recent update on here? Or the most recent one before you was it this one?
That was the most recent one I put before. Yeah.
I remember thinking like you look really good. Like you look like a bodybuilder if I didn't know you, I just think, yeah, you're obviously a bodybuilder. Like you're obviously a bodybuilder. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you, brother. I love the look. That's not even the leanest I got to. I've sent you some pictures, which you can look through. I didn't actually post the leanest that I got to, but
yeah. Well, this is a really nice pose. I think really good.
That's my best pose by far. Side chest, like I've nailed that shot.
Yeah,
so my hamstrings
really...
are in at the peak of off season, My hamstrings are just shredded all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know why,
You
but
just kind of hang.
my dad was a horse.
Feel bad for your mum then.
That's where I get it from. But look at them glutes. You see this? It's
Coming
6
in.
weeks out. What's this? This was 6 weeks and 5 days. This is nearly 7 weeks out. Look, they're getting the clam. Like,
Decent, man.
my glutes weren't even in at my last show, and they're getting the clam already. I genuinely think this would have been my best look. We've got more reasons why I didn't do it, and I stand by them. But
Get your legs there. What the fuck?
yeah, my legs are. That's why I gave myself the nickname Iron Thighs. I think,
Yeah. That's good, man. It's good. You got your own reasons, and they're the only reasons that you need, basically.
100%, mate.
So,
Right, and I don't regret it now. So the reason why I jumped out and jumped back in, that little 2-week period where I did it, was because I sort of had some regrets and had some things I thought I needed to prove or wanted to prove, and there was good reasons to prove them. Don't get me wrong, but then that went, and the reasons not to were just so much more. It's probably not the last you see. I probably will do a few lower level federations for fun, even within the next year or so. But it won't be at the sacrifice of anything else. I'll probably do the shows at like a 3-week outlook, just to do them. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna dig myself to that level. And I think me, without sounding pig-headed, hopefully, because I don't want to come across that way. I think me at 3 weeks out beats a lot of people if they don't meet the mark. I do. I've got that shape and symmetry, and I compose, and everything's in at 3 weeks out for me. It's just the fine details in. So, what about yourself?
Yeah,
You got any? Just whenever you see a show.
All my recent updates are from like a year and a half ago. I felt like I was in my best shape I'd ever been in. I got to a point where I'm not the biggest.
You've got that, without sounding racist, you've got that Asian structure, small insertions, the nice symmetry.
I've got like quite I like to say like a delicately built frame. Like I've got quite small joints and stuff like that. It works to my advantage, but
it does.
Yeah, man. I think
you can look big, very light. Like you, very light and look big. Whereas me, like you said, I'm very heavy. But so I have to go to the heavyweights and the super heavies when I compete, and they're fucking monsters.
Some of them are really big, man. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think I pulled out like 3 or 4 weeks out from my last one. It was a show during COVID. And they kept they put it back like 2 or 3. I think twice they put it back for like 3 or 4 weeks, and it's fucking. I feel like you just can't keep putting it back, and the amount of shit you're on, you can't be like, oh, I'm on this. When
you're in that headspace, you can't keep having your dates pushed back.
No, because I am fixed to that date. Don't change it, and then you got to change it. You keep putting it back. I think they put it back like 5 or 6 weeks in the end, and like you, Luke, I don't want to sound big-headed. But I would have fucking, with all due respect to the guy who did win, I think he beat, there was 2 people on stage, and I would have beat them both at that point, like 100%.
Yeah, I don't want to see who wins what I was going to do, to be fair.
Like, obviously be one fat guy there, and that's it. I regret not doing that a little bit, but I also think you can't really regret what you've done in the past. You can't, because you don't know if you hadn't done that, you'd be in a worse position now. Something would have happened. I don't know.
I'm 100% sure, especially some of the challenges that have come up at home. There's not been any like bad challenges at home, but there was like, some health scares with certain family members and people at home. And there was also, like I say, with work commitments and, the empathy I have to show people that I can't regret it, because I do think some of them bridges might have been burnt, or I might not have been able to carry myself to the standard that I needed to be in life, even for that last 5 weeks. I don't know why, but I'm just someone that really struggles with suffering, and I never used to. But I think it's just I've suffered so much in life with the shit that I have been through, that now that my life's good and it's something that I'm running towards, like I said, my head goes, why the fuck do you need to suffer? Like, why do we want to suffer? Like, we've got something good. Before it was a beautiful struggle that I needed. I don't now, and I'm glad that I've been able to be there for the people that I've needed to be there for, even in the last couple of weeks. And I've thought to myself during them times, like, God, imagine if I was still like feeling shit now. I couldn't have been as present as I was in them moments. So it was a
solid good times you've had,
yeah, good times.
You're not doing
and
it for yourself anyway. You're doing it for your family.
Yeah, if I was just my own man, like no kids, no partner, I'd be doing this forever. This would be my outlet to life, but life is now my life.
It's better. It's better.
Yeah,
it's good. Awesome. Shall we call it there? Let's wrap it up. Let's stop the recording. Yeah. Awesome. Well, same time next week.
Mate. You're ish.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I thought I had work, and then it got called off. And then what happened? Something happened. I can't remember. But yeah, as long as you're happy to do next week, same time next week, mate. I am. So let's keep doing it. Keep it going.
Keep it rolling, mate. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. All right, brother.
Sweet. Nice one, mate. Good to see you.